We are in a new year. We are at the very start of 2026, and it's time for us to zoom out and look at the big picture. I have a very special guest today that I cannot wait to introduce to you. She's a member of our Rising Star Business Academy, a business owner, and incredibly has this unique perspective that I cannot wait for you to hear. I'm not going to spoil what it is. You can probably tell from the title, but she has a system of archetypes that will help you to really start to think about the big picture and building your legacy from the start from this year. I can't wait. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everyone, to the Bold Business Podcast. I have a fantastic guest in the virtual studio today. Welcome, Amanda.
Hey, Rachel, how you doing?
So good. So good. But I love that for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, we're both very sparkly today. I feel like we're in our winter best. I'm wearing a sparkly gray top with like pearl dangly earrings. You're wearing a beautiful like black top with a cutout and like dangly gold earrings. Like we're feeling it. We're feeling this
Yes.
Capricorn kind of end of year, beginning of the next year. Let's do it. Let's sparkle kind of season. So I am going to introduce you all to Amanda. I'm so excited to have her here today because we have a very interesting topic. Like, I think this is going to blow a lot of y'all's minds and you're going to really enjoy it. And there's also a deep practical application that is just so I guess I can use this very corporate word, synergistic. It's so synergistic with with Capricorn season. So I can't wait for Amanda to just share with you this incredible insight that she has. But let me first introduce her. So Amanda has nearly 2 decades in the financial services industry, working in both mutual funds and alternative investments. Beyond that, she's an author and the CEO of Sovernique, a luxury thought leadership business that is devoted to sovereignty and leadership. Her work focuses on decoding human design, astrology, and energetics into practical language for leaders, visionaries, and creatives. And she elevates those insights into timeless cultural works that carry legacy. I'm so excited to have Amanda here because not only is she such a smart cookie, she's has incredible experience in her life and in her career, and now she's bringing it to the people. But also, she is a member of the Rising Star Business Academy. I'm so thrilled to have you here, Amanda. Give us a bit of an introduction to how you got into this world, how you got into, from corporate into astrology and human design. What led you to this work?
So human design found me, not the other way around.
Mm,
And I'm currently part of a mastermind that's about to end this month.
mm,
But one of the things we had to do was learn what our human design was, and I'd never even heard of it. So I was
hmm
like, what is human design? And I saw the founder's name, Ra Uru Hu, and I Googled it and typed human design. And that's when I learned I was a manifesting generator.
Yes.
And from there, it was just a rabbit hole. I just started learning more about my profile, learning about my type, learning about how my energy works. And astrology came a year later because I always known just my star sign being Pisces. And that's really what most people know is their star sign. And
hmm
they think that's all there is. But then once I started understanding the natal chart, I realized I'm so much more than just the star sign. My rising, moon, everything. And then I started piecing together how they connect to human design, and I could never unsee it. And I started making those connections. And I said, you know what? There's a lot to this that I could show people how to apply it to their life. And ever since, that's what I've been doing.
That's amazing. I love, you're just like me. I love that. It's like we learn something where our mind is blown, but then we just can't help but share it. Like we have to tell
Yes.
everyone about it. We're like, there's something here. There's some gold here. That's wonderful. Do you find that once you learn human design, like you have to look at both? Like you have to use the astrology and the human design, or do you have like a preference for how you use those two?
I figure out a way how to tie it all in. I don't go like just start one or the other
Mm.
because only because I now see the connections between the two,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially with the gates, the
Yes.
numbers inside the centers, because
Yes.
they're all connected to a sign.
hmm Yes.
And they can see it in your natal chart. You can make the connections too, like where it is, like where it's affecting your
hmm
energy.
Yeah.
So I don't really just draw a hard line between the two. I somehow merge them.
Yeah. Same, same. It's like once, like you said earlier, once you see it, you can't really unsee it. These systems, they're just like different languages for saying the same things, just in different, unique ways.
Hmm.
Um, at the time that this episode comes out, we are in Capricorn season. I want you to, yeah, tell us how you see Capricorn energy and how it connects to this theme that you're bringing of legacy building. I want to talk about that. I think this is such a rich topic.
So, see, if you think about the natal chart,
Hmm.
Capricorn rules the 10th house, which is your public face, your reputation, your legacy.
Hmm.
Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is all about hard work, discipline, and it wants you to win. People look at Saturn as this mean teacher. It's like, you can't have this now. That's not what Saturn's teaching you. It's teaching you to do the things now in the beginning so that over time you're building the structure that's impenetrable once you reach your pinnacle.
Hmm.
Because the 10th house represents the highest point, or
Mm.
usually where the midheaven is in the natal chart.
Yes.
So that's the most visible face. So people are going to recognize you for your hard work, for your gifts. And it's important to cultivate it now over time. Don't worry so much about when it'll show up, it will. But it's all about consistency. And that's what Saturn's teaching you. And that's the purpose of Capricorn. It's all about that type of energy. And it's an earth sign. So it's about grounding.
Hmm. Yes.
And that's important.
I love it. Capricorn's such an interesting sign to me because you're right. It's like that earth energy, but it's also like reaching. It's like reaching. It wants to create as well because it's that cardinal energy. Something that I struggle with is consistency. And I feel like, you and me both as like manifesting generators, like we
Yeah.
love, we're really good with other things like adventure, trying new things, being like, taking risks, change, flexibility, evolution. Those are often things that are kind of keywords connected to being a manifesting generator. And everyone is different. There's nuances, of course, in everyone's chart. But yeah, this whole consistency thing, this has been such a deep, I don't know, aspect of entrepreneurship for me. And I wonder, if it has been that way for you in your career and also as a business owner, like, how do I work with Saturn to remind myself that like I am in charge. I am the boss. No one else is going to keep me accountable. No one else is going to keep me consistent. Like it's me. Is that something that's been easy for you or has it been a challenge?
I'm I'm pretty consistent, especially when I'm focused on something I really enjoy.
Mm, mhm.
That's the key. If you enjoy the thing you're building,
Yes.
the consistency is going to come because you're going to just so focus on growing that and being more of an expert or perceived expert because everyone, you know what you learn. But if you enjoy what you're doing, it's not going to really matter about the consistency. It's just going to come naturally.
Mm. You're
But if
so
it's something
right.
you don't enjoy, mm-mm,
Yeah, you're so right. This is the
yeah,
key for anyone who's a generator or manifesting generator, the enjoyment. The enjoyment is the key
yeah,
to everything. Like without that, like we just, yeah, our creative energy just is dispersed. It's not focused. So I love
yeah.
that you bring that in. So being in Capricorn season, talking about things like consistency, why is it important to think about building a legacy? I love this question because I feel like a lot of times when we're, starting our business or we're in the midst of building, we're just thinking about, well, how do I replace my job? Or how do I get clients? Or we're thinking small, right? We're thinking about the day-to-day, the offer creation, the marketing, the tasks that I have to do to make money and help and serve my people, right? But then you're asking us, or I think Capricorn is maybe asking us to step back and look at legacy. So, why is looking at legacy important for business owners?
It's not just about building a business to make money, but what type of impact do you want to leave on the world and on people? And not just the people you call your customers or your clients,
Hmm.
but your family too, because they're also part of your legacy, because that's going to affect them as well.
Mm.
And your legacy is about it's about to be an example of what's possible, number one, and what's important.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times we focus on the money, that's going to come and go. But what impact are you leaving on someone else behind when you're not here? It doesn't necessarily mean passing away. It could just be just leaving a place.
Hmm.
What impact are you leaving that person or people? That's it's all about the long game. Is this decision you're making now going to matter 10 years from now? How's it going to affect you? You have to think beyond just today. You have to think 5, 10, sometimes even 20 or 30 years down the road. Are the decisions you're making today going to be beneficial down the line? And that's why it's important to really think far beyond what you see right now. And that's what Capricorn, I believe, is teaching.
I agree. I think this is like what you're describing is like when I talk about putting your CEO hat on. Because we have all these different hats, and when we were talking earlier, this year about doing this podcast, you mentioned like how I was talking about, are you a project manager or are you the CEO, right? And if you're a solopreneur, you have to be both in the beginning. And I think a lot of us are way more comfortable being the project manager than taking that step back and being the CEO. Is there anything you want to add about that?
I'm thinking this is how what you just said, being a project manager versus being a CEO. Being a CEO means you have to be more hands off and be more of a visionary.
Hmm.
And you have to put trust in others to execute the vision.
Yes.
Whereas the project manager, you're in the day to day. So you're working in the business rather than on it.
Yes, that's right. I love that. In the business rather than on it. And really, successful business owner, you have to be able to do both, right? Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I love
plus,
this.
once you've learned all the pieces, how the pieces work in your business, you're able to delegate it out to others.
Yes, very true. So, if we're looking ahead, thinking about the impact that we are actually having, or the impact that we want to have, how we want to leave behind something beyond,
Mhm.
just ourselves. Um, you have a really cool way of looking at legacy building that I can't wait for you to introduce to us.
When you look at Capricorn and a game of chess, it's about playing the long game.
Mm.
And in chess is a game of strategy and intention and thinking at least 3 moves ahead, which is what a CEO would do. They would think beyond what's in front of them. They think several moves ahead as the future version of themselves, which will lead me into how the pieces move on the board. So the board is essentially your life, and it can be your business as well. And all the pieces are the archetypes of each planet. And I will start with the most powerful piece on the board, and that's the queen. Now, the queen moves like a rook, which is like this, straight
Ah,
and
so
down or
for
across.
people who are just listening to
Like a
this,
chess.
yeah.
Yes,
So for people who are only listening, you describe the movement a little bit? And I had
sure.
to like I need to brush up on my
Yes,
knowledge of chess as well. I'm like, wait, I haven't played in so many years. I don't really remember everything. So maybe describe it a little bit more to us.
sure. So the queen is a combination of two pieces on the board, the rook and the bishop. The rooks move in a rank and file, so it either goes straight lines down, up and down, or across.
Ah, hmm.
And the bishop moves in diagonals. They
Ah.
go like this. The queen is a combination of both those pieces.
Mm.
So she can move the furthest across the board.
Oh my gosh, I never knew that she was a combo of those two pieces. So you're saying the queen is the most powerful piece,
Yes.
and
I gave her 2 planets.
well, makes sense.
Yes. I gave her the moon and Venus.
Ooh, yes. Say more.
So the moon would be your intuition, your inner world. And Venus would be your values, your attraction, and your magnetism. And I use those as a combination when it comes to your business because you have to have self-trust. So your intuition when you're making moves, you have to know when or how to move on across the board. And you also have to know what's drawing people to you. That's your
Mm.
magnetism with the Venus energy and then the inner world with the moon energy.
Ooh, I love that focus on intuition. It's like the idea, this is such a beautiful metaphor for those of us who really like working with like visuals and metaphor and storytelling. I feel like this is really going to land. So this idea of like just thinking as a business owner, am I going to zig or am I going to zag? What am I going to do? Or am I going to follow
Yeah.
the plan, straight ahead? What am I going to do? And when you're a business owner, there is no one telling you right? Like you can have mentors, you can be in a mastermind, you can be in Rising Star Business Academy. No one is going to tell you what the right move is. And so you have to listen to your inner voice. You have to listen to your intuition. And that is how you're describing the queen coupled with that moon and that Venus energy. This is brilliant. Brilliant. Love it.
Now, the next one would be the rook, which is the castle.
Ah, okay.
That now the rook moves straight up and down like this or across
Ah,
in
okay.
a straight line. That is Saturn.
Aha. That's very Saturn. Straight lines.
Boundaries, structure.
Hmm.
And I'll explain more once we get into how to apply it. But
Yeah.
that's essentially what Saturn would be. It would be the structure. And that's represented by a brook or a castle, which makes sense because a castle is a protector barrier.
Yes, that makes so much sense. Yes, I can just see it
Hmm.
all visually right now. Yes.
The next piece is the bishop, which is moves diagonally.
Mm,
We get two bishops.
mm,
And I chose Jupiter for the bishop
mm,
because a diagonal, you have a wider vantage point than a straight line.
hmm. Yes.
So
And
your
Jupiter
vision is
just
way
like
more broad.
does whatever it wants. Like it kind
Yes, it does.
Jupiter's very it thinks outside the box.
It
Unlike
does.
Saturn often thinks inside the box, right? Straight lines. Jupiter is like,
Hmm.
wee,
Yes.
thinks outside the box. I love it. Yes.
Yes. The knight, which is the knight that jumps over with an L shape, that is Uranus. Now,
Yeah.
now knights can jump over, they move like a two over and one over, like an L shape
Mm,
in any direction, and it can jump over other pieces or behind them. So it
very
moves
Uranus.
unconventionally. It's an unconventional move.
Unexpected. Where are we going next? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Corner. Swerve.
That is
That's so
Uranus.
Uranus. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And then you have the pawns, which only move one or when the first move is two squares, otherwise it's always one, and they only move forward.
Mm.
That is Mars. Because Mars is
Mm.
war.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Battle. Straightforward.
Yes, and it wants to is and it's first because Mars is in the front line,
Yes.
and Mars Aries is the
Is
first sign
first.
ruled by Mars. Yes, so it's first in line and it moves in a forward motion only until it
Yes.
gets to the other end, if it reaches that. But that's in the game of chess.
Yes.
But those represent the daily activities,
Mm.
the day to day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now I didn't use all the planets yet, so here's the rest. You have Mercury. Mercury is the communication amongst the pieces.
Mm. Like the strategy.
Yes.
Yes. I love that. I love that.
N-
Mm-hmm.
Neptune is the fog of war because Neptune is all about illusions and blurred lines.
Ah, tell me more about that. The fog of war.
Confusion. You know how you can see different strategies and it's like you're thinking I should do this and that, and it turns out to be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Another way to apply that in business would be shiny object syndrome.
Yes.
You're just finding things, you're thinking that this is what I need now because you're focused on what you want, but you realize down the line it's not the right thing. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to just give it time to just make sure everything is right before you say, make this move or make that move.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Pluto, which is the end game or the transformation.
Love it. Love it. Yes. Working with
And all
Pluto
those,
is so
yeah,
deep, right? It's so deep. It's like,
it
what do
is.
you, I think a big question that Pluto is often asking us is, what do you really want? And it
Yes.
wants to get down to, like you said, the essence. It needs to get down
Hmm.
to like beyond all the BS, beyond the acting. Like, what is it really? Who are we really? And so at the end of the day, do you want to win? Do you want to lose? How do you want to play this game? Yeah, Pluto.
And all those pieces, all the planets work together for one purpose, and that's to protect the king. Because the king is the most important piece on the board. If
Oh,
anything happens to the king, it's the end. That's checkmate.
oh, wow. Okay. This
The
is
king is
amazing.
the sun
Uh-huh.
because all the planets revolve around the sun, so all the pieces revolve around the king.
Makes sense.
And the sun or the king represents your purpose, your big
Mm,
why,
hmm.
and you're doing everything you can with the moves you're making to protect that.
Yeah, to protect your why, your
Yes,
legacy in a
that's
lot of
right.
ways. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Please trademark immediately if you haven't already. This is gold for anyone who loves chess and plays chess who's listening. I think they will really enjoy this so much. But also, even if you don't play chess, it's just a way of understanding these different pieces within us, right?
Yes. Because all archetypes, excuse me, they're all archetypes with the planets and the pieces, like how they all move. And it's all based on you, like how you're designed to move.
Yeah.
And you're trusting your inner knowing.
Yes. Can you give us an example of how you can personalize this and use this for yourself and in your own work?
I like to use mine as an example. I have the third house is in Virgo, and I have most of my planets there.
Mm.
So it screams communication. But the planets I have there are Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, which is
Ah,
crazy.
yeah,
So I have
wow.
expansion and I have boundaries here.
Yes, yes, structure as well.
Yes. And also Mars, the daily actions I would take. So for me, it'll be writing on a daily basis, just getting those types of things done. For some people, if they have heavy Uranus placements, let's say Aquarius,
Hmm.
if they have placements there, that's going to influence, they may do more unconventional work or
Mm,
their moves to be unintentional. Sometimes the move that's unconventional, let's say if it's a night or Uranus, it could just be their perspective. They could take a contrarian view on something that everyone else agrees on, and you can take an opposite approach.
hmm. That makes a lot of sense. I have Uranus conjunct my midheaven in my 10th house.
Oh, wow.
So I always think about like when I look at work and career, I feel that I'm often a person who is like looking at it differently, or I want to come up with new ways and new ideas. I'm not just, when I learned astrology, I didn't just go and read all the books and then follow like one uh what's the word? Like one legacy or one kind of group of people or way of doing astrology. I was like, I want to learn it all, and then I'm going to make my own way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
And
Uranus.
that's how you set yourself apart in the marketplace.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
because you trusted yourself,
Yes.
you said, you know what? I'm going to do my thing
Yeah. Yeah. Why is no one
and
working
not be
with the
afraid of that.
midheaven? I need
That's
to
always
write
a good
write the
thing
book on the midheaven, which I am. So yeah, there we go.
because
There we
yours
go.
is in Sagittarius
Yes. Hmm.
and mine's in Aries. So we're both fire, midheaven.
Yes. Hmm.
Yep.
Love it.
And
Oh
here's another
wow.
one for, and here's
Yeah,
another
go
one
ahead.
for the Rook, which is Saturn. I said that represents boundaries. Now, boundaries can be time boundaries in your business. That could be setting office hours or setting times of the week where you check your emails
Hmm.
so that you're not just like always on just in the business all the time because you have a life
Hmm.
that you're working to build, focus on as well. So setting time boundaries is important. And also your pricing can be a boundary as well. And
Hmm.
standing on your pricing,
Hmm.
like
Yes.
how much something costs to work with you or anything like that. Don't be afraid to stand on that. That's also a boundary as well.
Hmm.
So those are just examples of how to apply that. And same thing with the bishop, which is the Jupiter, your vision. Like, what's the vision for your business overall? Like, where do you see it going?
Hmm.
And sometimes that can change over time too as you evolve. And
Yeah.
don't be afraid to keep your business plan. You have structure, but keep it dynamic. Don't be so married to something where you box yourself in.
Hmm. Definitely. Oh, I love this. This is so good. So for anyone who's maybe newer to astrology, they may be like, whoa, like this is quite advanced, in terms
Yeah.
of understanding the relationship between the planets and chess, but also the relationship between the planets and then parts of your chart and what their meanings are and all of these things. What is a first step that you would give people to working with chess as a metaphor, working with the planets in their chart to help build their legacy? Where would you have someone begin?
It could be just where they are now, like what they're struggling with. Sometimes it could just be something as simple as getting started with maybe getting your email list set up. That could be one task. Or it could be maybe working with a coach, just asking them where should I focus on in my business now? Sometimes they may not even know what they want to focus on. They may
Yeah.
not really know what their actual business would be. They just know they have an interest. They just don't know who they're being called to serve.
Hmm.
I would just start there and then expand from that. Sometimes it could just be a small pivot. It doesn't have to be anything major.
Hmm.
They could be in the weeds of something and they could just take it off their hands and focus on other tasks. Sometimes they could be focused on their marketing, which would be a queen energy. That's like the attraction. Like
Mm,
how are you bringing people into your ecosystem, into
yes.
your world? You could focus on those types of things. Sometimes it's just knowing like exactly what it is you're doing and why you're doing it. That goes back to the king. What exactly is your purpose in your business?
Hmm.
Once you have that foundation piece, then it'll be a lot easier to get the steps in to figure out what's the next best step.
Hmm. Hmm. I like that. It's kind of thinking about your strategy before you make your move, which sounds
Yes.
obvious, but I think when you're in the thick of it and you're either redefining your business, maybe you're bored and you want to change things or things aren't working. A lot of the
Yes.
entrepreneurs that I've been meeting and talking to, a lot of people this year have been saying, the things they used to do in their business are not working anymore. And so they're needing, I think, if I understand the metaphor correctly, a lot more of this like Aquarius or even Jupiterian energy and also Queen energy because they need to be able to like with this Uranus energy, move and then swerve, right? And they need to kind of try new things. They can't just go straight and do the things they've been doing and rinse and repeat. The rinse and repeat is not working for most people. And that's from anyone, from people who are new in their business all the way to people who have been in the game for 10, 20 years, right? And I'm serious. Like so many people have been
Yes.
saying it's not working, or it's not working the way I expected. And so we all have to be innovating. But then you bring that Jupiter energy of going diagonally. Like, I love this. It's like,
Yes.
maybe I don't need to totally throw everything out because I think sometimes when we get frustrated, we're just like, I'll just burn it all down. I'll close it all. I'm done. We don't need to burn everything down. Maybe it's just going diagonally. There's something that's adjacent, that's close. We're nearly there that fits well with who we are, with what we're building, with what our business is about, and who we're serving. So I love this metaphor for just like, and the queen energy, like you said, intuition, for helping us to remember it's not just, option A, B, and C. What about, Z? Like, what about all these other ways that we could be doing things? So yeah, I think this is going to help people to really zoom out and see the bigger picture. Which piece are you
Yes.
like needing to work with the most right now? Which piece or which planet are you embracing?
I'm leaning towards Saturn in terms
Ooh,
of just
okay.
the building piece,
Yeah. Do you want to say
getting
more about that?
structured in place.
Sure.
Yeah, because so for the business, I'm leaning towards more thought leadership and teaching and
Yes.
building frameworks
Hmm.
because I see myself more of a teacher than a coach. Now, I think coaching is awesome,
Yeah.
but I think with coaching, you're holding space for the client to find the answer, and I'm here to translate.
Yeah.
I'm a translator. Like
Yeah.
I take a modality like astrology and translate it to something that can be applied in a different way.
Yeah.
And I do believe that's why I'm being called. That's what I'm here to do, is
And
to be a teacher.
all that energy you have in the third house and being, a 1-3 as in human design. Yeah, you've got strong teaching energy and also just like knowledge, like gifting the knowledge energy. So I love that. So
Mhm.
Saturn can help to organize the ideas and to give you that. I think
Yeah.
I think the one if I reflect, I think the one that I need to and am working with a lot more now. I want to make it like my planet of 2026 is Jupiter. It's my, it's the ruler in traditional astrology, it's the ruler of my rising and my midheaven, Pisces and Sag. And
That's
I'm
right.
just like, yeah, it's my favorite planet. Not to say I have a favorite. I guess my favorite would be the moon, but then it's Jupiter, and it's like this idea of going diagonally, expanding, thinking
Yeah.
differently, having fun. I think Jupiter also has a playful energy. This last year was not a year of fun for me, but I kind of knew that going in. I was like, this is a year of getting my ducks in a row, of getting things in order, of letting go of a lot of things that don't work, of restructuring. I think this was more
Yeah.
of a Saturn year. Next year, I'm like, let's get into Jupiter. So yeah, this has
Yeah.
been really great to just to kind of selfishly for me to self-reflect as well. And I hope everyone, as we're at the dawn of the new year of 2026, will really dive in and embrace this and think about, well, which piece, maybe even make it your phone background, like which piece. So which one is this? This is the bishop, right? Is Jupiter?
Yes, that's Bishop.
Okay,
Yep,
so
that's
I'm the
right.
bishop I want to work with bishop energy for 2026, at least for the first quarter for sure. So everyone can think about which piece is it that they need in their life right now? Which moves are they ready to make? I love this. This is so good. Is there anything
And
else you want to, yeah, share about this?
I was gonna say with me doing the Rook for the coming year is interesting because next year is a year one in
Yes. Yes.
numerology, and my life path number is a 3, which is
Mm.
communicator. But when we add them together, it equals a 4. So it's about
Yes.
stability,
Mm-hmm.
rooks,
Mm-hmm.
Saturn, building.
Yeah.
So it works perfectly. It fits, it's a good fit. So that's where I see myself is just focus on the building piece. And then also I'm going to be doing a lot of the writing
Mm-hmm.
and that
Yes,
type of
I
thing and
cannot
doing
wait.
some
You have a
speaking.
book. You have a book coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm part of a multi-author book.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
title, I'll tell you the title. The title is Spark, Igniting Change in a World of Possibilities. And it's going to be supposed to be released on Amazon in January. I'm going to keep looking out for it. Hopefully that's when it's going
Yes,
to
we'll
be
put that
officially
link in the
released.
show notes. Yeah, whenever
Yes.
you all are listening to this, we'll put the link in the show notes so you can grab that as well. I'm so excited for that. You're just born to write, I think, really born to be an author. So I love that this will
Yeah.
be your book
Yeah.
coming out. What is So, in terms of working with this metaphor, working
Mhm.
with these insights, thinking about legacy, is there anything else that you want to share with people? Any takeaways of kind of how to move forward with this and enact this in their lives you want to share with us?
So let's look at it as an overall bigger picture is thinking about making more strategic moves, being strategic, because chess is a strategic game where you're thinking at least 3 moves ahead. So you're not just moving haphazardly across the board. You're really thinking about how your opponent's going to move. Now, in this metaphor, you're not playing against an opponent per
Mm.
se.
Hmm.
You're playing against or with the future version of you.
Ooh, yes. Yes. This is deep stuff. Hmm.
And that's the version that's thinking 3 or more moves ahead. And the moves could be thinking a few years out.
Hmm.
Does this move make sense to make today so that 5 years from now, I'll bear that fruit, it's going to help grow my business and keep me going.
Hmm.
So a lot that has to do with being strategic and being intentional about what move you're making now and not doing it in a reactionary type of way,
Mm.
but in a sovereign way. So you're focusing on your power because you have the how your pieces move across the board. And it all starts with how where your king is. What's your purpose? You start there, and then you dictate how your pieces move.
Mm.
So I always say, just be strategic.
Hmm.
Don't be so worried about what everyone else is doing per se. Focus
Mm.
on you. Don't worry about the trends so much. You can be aware of them. That's fine,
Yeah.
but just always focus on what's working for you and what is you trying to build, and just make sure that that's your North Star.
Mm. Oh, that's so important. You're really speaking to me right now. I think one of my plans for over the breaks between years is to go through and just unsubscribe from like all my newsletters and like everything. I just receive way too much, and I know that in order to create what I want to create next year, like I really, or in this
Yeah.
year, I guess this is going to come out in January. I really need to be focused. And that's what you're talking about is like, don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what other people are saying. It's really about getting in touch with what you want, where you're going, what you want to create in the map that you're, yeah, building for yourself.
Yes.
Beautiful. What a great message to start this year. I'm so excited. How can people find you and work with you, Amanda?
So I am on LinkedIn, and it's my first and last name, Amanda Wingate. So you can just find me on there and you connect with me and let me know how you think of the podcast episode. And say
Yeah.
hello and
Yes.
go
I
from
think
there.
everyone should go and tell you which piece they think they're working with most right now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, I love this. Thank you for coming. Thank you for all of your insight. Thank you for thinking differently. I love this. It's just like very outside the box, and to use chess in this archetypal way, I think is so potent and so beautiful. And thank you for the gift of like introducing this to us today. I appreciate it.
And, and thank you. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Absolutely. Everyone, go and check Amanda out. Send her a message on LinkedIn. Let her know which piece are you working with, what you thought of this incredible framework that she's created. It's so unique, so original, and have a brilliant rest of your month. Get in there with your goal setting, with your legacy building, and let us know how it goes. Talk to you later.